Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art review series. And today we'll be checking out the work of Migo1942. He's a, or she, or they. They're a character concept designer based in Montreal, Canada. Now, I will link the links in the description below. And this guy also does have a YouTube channel, although not as updated, but you will see a couple of process videos there. So I'm going to be focusing more on the 2D stuff because I just like the style. For example, in this portfolio, this one, the octopus and these two, I like the way it looks, the style of it. I know they do 3D work as well, and maybe that's actually their main thing. Oh, I also like this maid here and this sort of astronaut chick. Yeah, they do a bunch of 3D work as well. And the 2D stuff is more, I think it's more of a concept stage where they, I don't think it's their final thing. I mean, on its own, it's nice, but I think for their process, they do really they do more 3D than 2D. But again, I will be focusing more on the 2D stuff because that's what I do, 2D art. And I'm really into the character art, style, but also design a bit, but I think it's more of the presentation or the way it's done. So I did pick a few. Let me just find my PureRef file of this person. There you go. So I will link the ArtStation, the X, and the Instagram page, and he has the YouTube page as well. So I think I found this person through these ones, and obviously these got way more comments because obviously the asset is pretty clear. What I do like about it is if you zoom in, look at the line work. It's not really line work, is it? It's more of a sketch, and it doesn't have any line weight attached to it. It's a basic round brush with, if you zoom in, there is a bit of texture there, some bit of variety, so it looks more like a mechanical pencil was used to do this, or it has that look anyway. And I think it fits. I forgot another artist who has the similar style, but where the pencil lines are kind of like this, and there's no ink. Which is cool because you don't have to do inks. You know, there's one less one less step you have to do. And if you look at the shape form or the shapes, I think the shapes are more apparent than the forms. And there's not a lot of gesture work, I would say. It's not very fluid, not very gestural. There's more of a straightforward approach, very angular. I mean, I'm not saying there are no curves. I mean, obviously there are curves. What I mean is it's not flowy or gestural, right? There's no a fluidity in it. It's a very graphic sort of approach. And yeah. And if you look at the actual rendering, it's mainly the flats. So each part is segmented by a specific color, and then there's a shadow layer, and that's it. You know, this is separation of light and dark. Even within the shading, there is no soft shade. There's no soft gradients. You're not using any kind of gradient tool or a soft brush. It almost everything is hard edged. And it does have the comic vibe because of that. And I think it works. Style-wise. And even though it's not super tight, there's way more clarity in this sort of thing. And I think it's it shows you that it's enough. You don't need to be super detailed to be able to say what you want to say. Oh wow, the shoes are nice. The detail of them being untied. So here are some facial explorations of the same character, I think. Right, so it has a bit of an anime style, but I do like the way it's simplified. Right, again, if you look at the pencil or the line, there is no line weight. You know, it's all very consistent looking, but it's also messy in a way, right? It doesn't have to be final for you to start adding in your flats and your shadows. Again, if you look at all of these faces, there are no soft gradients being used here. It's just a hard set of shadows or shapes. Interesting. Some of these are repeated. I did download a few of them. I think all of these were from ArtStation. This one was from was it X? And these ones are from Instagram. Sometimes they'll post. There are some posts on Instagram that don't end up on ArtStation, and there are, you know, like it's pretty scattered. Like there's no one platform where they post everything. So I do recommend you check out all of them: ArtStation, X, and Instagram. Also, this one is definitely one of my. Ooh. Again, they're very good at the back shot here. Is it a guy? I think it's a guy. Oh no. Well, a hole's a hole. Anyway, oh shit, there's also another guy, I guess. Although he does use ink, but his inks are not super tight. I think he's Canadian French or something. Rambaud, right? Especially with these sorts of like mechanical designs or these types of equipment, these military gear types of language. Let me just focus here. Oh yeah. Again, look at the line work. Like sometimes it overshoots, right? Sometimes it's just short of meeting the other edge. Like, are these, like, is this considered a tight drawing? No. But it works together if you like zoom out. And that's enough. I'm kind of jealous though. Because I know it looks simple, but once you start doing it, it's going to be pretty difficult. This could be like a drone. Like a squid octopus-like drone. Interesting. Oh shit, I think that's the title of this piece, Octopus, right? You know, I've been trying to practice with these like military gear stuff because it just looks cool, you know? The guns, the ammo pack, the belts and everything. This guy, it has been enhanced, I guess. Right? Look at the shadows. There are no soft. I think you would call this cell shading, right? Where it's a form of simplified rendering. I think comic book types of illustrations. Even the face. There are some texture brushes, say for the hair, and maybe some, you know, those face paints they add in the military, you know, for camouflage maybe, or just because it looks cool. This one does have a bit of a soft edge here, right? Look at that. Oh. But it's so minimal. The vast majority of it is just hard edged, and it all works together. The lines or the line work. Oh, this one is ink, by the way. I'm just seeing it now. But even then, is it tight? I don't think so. It is very angular, but it's also confident. And I think it works together with the cell shading approach they're doing. So it's a mecha chick, kind of hot. Here we have the maid, the assassin maid. Ooh, oh, reminds me of the clones in the Star Wars series or films. Look at that. It's so nice to look at though. There are some texture brushes to indicate some dirt. I do see a bit of a suggestion of a soft edge here. Maybe some mixer brushes. This one does seem a bit more painted than the previous ones we've seen. However, if you look at the line work here, it's not an inked, number one, but it's also devoid of line weight. It's mostly consistent. You do see some texture, some subtle texture in the actual, I'll call them pencil lines, but that's it. And maybe it has a little bit of opacity, I'm not sure, but it's like gray. So I think it blends well with, like, the moment you add color and shadows, it blends well. You know, sometimes, for example, for this, sometimes the black, pure black inks can be a bit much. Like, it can take away from the rendering. Let's just zoom in here. Oh wow. And there's a lot of like abstraction being used there, or simplification. You don't have to, for example, if you look at this spray thing, Look at how blocky it is. Look at how basic the shapes or forms or shapes you can see. But altogether, it does seem complex. But if you zoom in, like each part is actually fairly simplified. If you look at the shoes, the one in the back is basically one shape. A bit of like slight subtle gradients there from say a splatter brush maybe, or a soft brush. But focusing on this front foot, this boot, I like the texture here, the splatter. Obviously, it's, you know, she's on it. It looks like a she, right? So she has been working. So obviously she's going to be around dirt, right? So it makes sense for the boot to be a bit dirty. But look at how simplified it is, right? The line work, it overshoots a bit. That's fine. And this kind of fold where the front part of the foot gets to kind of move around. It's so simple. It's basically just one line, but that's enough to signify that sort of bend that happens when you bend your foot upward. Really cool stuff. Yeah, I think this is a great example of like simplifying your lines. This one is not inked. Yeah, it still has a pencil look to it. It has a bit more darker. Yeah, it's not a full inked piece, but I do notice it's slightly darker, almost black. Look at this. Let me just move this down here. Oh my god. Damn, she's kind of hot, right? Oh, schoolgirl assassin. And I do like this because even though she's just standing, there is personality there. And I talked about this in one of my recent videos or art reviews of, I think the artist's name was Meerkat, or the username anyway, Meerkat. And the idea was putting something behind your drawings. It's not just about skill. One of the comments there, by the way, sorry if I don't comment because my hand is still kind of tired because it's not fully healed yet. So using one hand to type stuff, I'm like, no. But I do see it. Anyway, one of the commenters say that they weren't really lacking in skill, or maybe they sort of knew that it wasn't the skill that was the issue. It was the soul in their work. They're just not adding something behind their work. And sometimes that's what it is. Maybe if you're worried about your skills, maybe it's not that. Maybe you just don't have, or you're not focusing on some kind of story, or like you're so focused on skills that you've forgotten like the soul aspect, you know? Because there's so many artists out there that personally, style-wise, I'm not a fan of it. Like I would objectively say I'm better than them. But that's just style. But then again, when I watch or look at their work, I laugh, you know, I feel horny sometimes. You know, like I feel something when I see their work. And that's what's lacking in my work too. So again, look at this pose. Very simple, but there is some story happening here. Like she's obviously with the thing she's wearing, kind of a schoolgirl outfit, so you can tell her mentality is kind of young, kind of carefree, definitely with the bubble gum, right? With the mask, right? And obviously her carrying the gas mask and her favorite guns. She has two guns, so maybe she's a type of person or a soldier or assassin who likes using dual guns instead of just one, right? Like this heart right here, like these sorts of like mini details, they just add to the story. And obviously her just wearing a bra, maybe she has like a slutty kind of attitude. Oh yeah, right? So interesting. Now this one's more of a mecha, right? There's no person here. Although I have seen a 3D model that they did where there's a person sort of piloting this thing, but they're sort of walking like a dog, like an animal. It's kind of hot saying it anyway. So there are, if you're interested in 3D and you like doing 3D, I do recommend checking out Migo, because they do have, I think, way more 3D work than 2D. But same approach, same style. That this one has really dark. It's almost like an ink piece, right? But the process is the same. Almost no soft edges, here and there maybe, but it's mostly like hard edged. And the shapes are very, they're stylized, meaning they're pulled, exaggerated a bit, simplified. It's not realistic. It's almost cartoony. You know, I don't like cartoony, that word. It's stylized. How about that? Heavy on the graphic shapes. I don't think there's this strong. It leans more on shape rather than form. Obviously by just adding shadows, you will suggest form, but I do think they do start out with trying to find the best or interesting shapes first, and then trying to add shadows to, you know, add structure or form to that thing. So she's kind of showing off her mechanical parts here. Oh, I like the caution part. Don't touch. Right? Dangerous, right? Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if these are real as well. Oh, yeah. I do like the belt stuff here. Even the way the folds are done. Right? Like if she's lifting the skirt or the shirt up, obviously there will be way more folds here, right? Like the way you choose which, like you have to know where the things are kind of pinching and where things are being stretched. Like there's so much work in this. But yeah, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be like super tight with it, but if you can just suggest what that thing is, I think that's more than enough. Oh shit, she has like a price tag. Oh no. You have a code here. Oh my. For sale. Oh no. They do have a few black and let's check these out. This one is, so they did this in 3D and then they did a draw over. A very common process. So here we have the original sketch, right? Now this one does have an edge, like the edge is sort of fading out a bit. Maybe it does have some pen pressure, but via opacity, not necessarily line weight. Look at how the lines overshoot. But it works. It works great the moment you add shadows, and even more so if you add some color. Oh, so we have some nuns here, some mecha nuns, right? Oh, interesting designs, right? This one is a bit more painted. Damn. Quite revealing. So let me just go to some Instagram stuff. I believe it's over here below. This is from the Twitter page, I think. Oh, let me check this. Oh, look at this page. So this guy's kind of a freak. I can tell by some of his sketches. Like, I'm like, I do think it's a he, but who knows? Oh my god. Yeah, that's me right there, checking out that. God. Oh, Sailor Moon. It's a pretty popular like anime, right? But I haven't seen it. Is it? I think it's a movie, a series. I don't know, but I think this is their version of it, of the iconic sort of pose. But again, same approach. Look at the way the lines are done. Strong shapes, the lines overshooting, kind of sketchy, sharp, not very gestural, but strong shapes. Exaggerated shapes. So we have here, same thing. So the shadows are done first. Oh, the line work obviously, and then the shadows, and then the color. Oh, look at that, look at the freak. Oh my god, kinky. This one does have some like dark inks there. Freaky looking thing. Hand crab. Right? Oh, I like this one. Some anatomy studies here. Look at how the lines are done. They do have a way of drawing. Very angular, right? It's not just, I mean, yes, there are curves, but it's not like fluid. Like think Eliza, the one who likes using pencil. She has more of a fluid approach. She's not very angular with the way she draws. Migo here, 1942, is more angular. And they like constructing things via shape, right? Oh my god! Oh! So we have a droid here with some... Oh my... I like the gloves, the way it's rendered. Look, it's so simplified, the shapes. There is a bit of soft brush use for the pants. And the... Yeah. I like them. Oh, this one's kind of a see-through thing. It's like it has a latex, rubbery... I'm not sure what the name is, but it has that rubbery look. So some texture work there, but it's more like suggested. Yeah. These shapes look nice. So there is a bit of rendering, I guess, for the arms, the butt, the legs, and the boobs, but that's it. It's so minimal though. It's more for texture than anything. I like the head design, the hydraulics. Like, it's so believable. I mean, obviously it's fantasy, but you know, one day we'll have these, hopefully, in the future. Yes, there will be guy versions too. Same thing here, different like color schemes or designs, right? Now this one is a bit more detailed. Oh wow, the hand is nice. But again, if you look at the line work, it's still the same, very angular, strong shapes. Now if you look at the flats, or if you look at the color, there is some slight rendering. It's not just one shadow shape, right? You do see some subtle shadows here and there. There's way more values, I guess. It's not just light and dark. I think the more values that you add, the more realistic it sort of leans towards to. And the more simplified or the less values you illustrate to the point where there are just two values, the more it's gonna look graphic or stylized. So I think this can also work to where the shape design is pretty sharp, simplified, but the way it's rendered has that realistic sort of a feel to it. So we have a chick here. She has a very customized gun here. Snickers. I'm not a fan of Snickers. You know, the caramel kind of sticky stuff. I'm not a fan because it sticks to your teeth, right? I like the shoes. This one does have a more. Let me just check this out. This was the one earlier. The lines are more, I think, worked on, very gentle. Yes, there are still strong shapes, but it's more. It's not. There are exaggerations, but it's a bit more subtle, I guess. Because I think it's a fuller character thing. So you can tell there's a bit more presentation being considered here. It's not really a sketch. It's more of a design. Elevation view, like back, front view. This one's more of a rendered thing. Yes, I like it. The line work is still the same. It's still not like an ink thing. Although it's kind of disappearing at this point. It's still there, but because of the rendering involved, where it's not just two values, it almost the more values there are, obviously it's going to lean more towards the realistic route. The more the lines actually disappear and blend in or blend with the painting. I like it. And you can always take something like this, right? Flats and just two values, and then you can render it to this level. So here we have Frieren from the anime, and I forgot her name. Sorry. Oh, it's Fern. Shit. This is better than any magic. Than any magic. Okay. True that. And it's fun. Sometimes you have to do doodles like this because it's just fun, you know. Oh shit, I forgot this chick's name. It's the Overwatch chick. Oh, it's Tracer. Oh my god. I keep asking for the names, but oftentimes it's just in the actual piece. She's hot. Oh, obviously it doesn't make sense to show the front part, right? She's kind of more known for her behind. I do remember the controversy there where her behind was a bit plump, but in the actual game they kind of made it less. I think that was the issue there. So if you're someone who games, maybe you're aware of that. He does have, or she, or they do have a few sketches like this where it's so like loose, but you know, it works. You don't have to color it all the way, because whenever you do studies, like sometimes you're tempted to like add the shadows, the colors, but sometimes maybe for this moment, all you need to know is, or all you need to do is this, right? You don't have to finish everything from start to finish, right? That sounded redundant, by the way. Astronaut chick. So we have is this the UK flag or the Britain flag? I'm not sure. I think it's the UK. Oh my god. It's so tight. Why is the arrow pointing there? Migo, Migo, Migo. What's attached to her nipples though? God damn, what are you doing? Oh yeah. So if you go down, oh, I think this is on or in Instagram. I think so. So they do stop with just the grays. Again, line work, very simple, very straight edged, and then just the shadows. Or is it Twitter? I'm not sure. Oh, this one's nice. Oh, it reminds me of the work of I'll like this guy too. Kwang Kim. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Kwang Kim. Hopefully I'm right. Oh, look at, oh my gosh, she's playing with her cat with her freaking feet. Oh yeah. Nice socks. High socks are the best socks, by the way. Even the face, the way it's, oh, I do like the way the lips are rendered. It looks like she's whistling. A very simple way of drawing and rendering the face. Again, when you're doing faces, be subtle. Don't overdo the details, the line work, unless they're old or, you know, scarred up. Be gentle, be subtle, right? And if you look at the lines here, it's very minimal. Like almost all of the lines are in the contour or edge of each shape. And you don't really see that many like lines like this where it's overshooting. Some painting here, right? It's more than 2 values. You see it more in the hair, but it's still fairly simple. Damn, what'd that do? What'd that do? Damn. I'm imagining things right now. Okay, let me just move on. If you know, you know. Okay. Oh my god. So this chick, I think she's the Lucy cyberpunk. It's from the anime, right? I forgot her name. This one's, oh shit, it's nude. So it's either you have her strong hands or her gentle feet. Oh yeah. So here we have Chainsaw Man, and we have this, I forgot her name, Kobeni. She's sort of the panicky character. And yeah, you'll do see some doodles like this here and there where it's more fun and playful. And I think it's important to not take yourself so seriously, like, oh shit, I'm only going to do this one specific thing. You know, think Kim Jung-gi, you know, he pretty much draws everything, right? And I think it helps. Like your interests, that's not your main interest, will I think eventually affect positively your main interest. Right? If you keep doing these sorts of studies, quick doodles, eventually it's going to improve like these sorts of designs. Imagine her playing with, Again, is it just a basic drawing? There is some story. Look at the way her facial expression is illustrated. She seems kind of bored, kind of tired. It looks like based on her equipment, she does have a gun. I think it's a gun or a knife. So she's on call perhaps. I do see a headset here. Right? So maybe she's just tired from work, or maybe she needs to do some overtime. Like the fact that I can even ask or inquire these sorts of questions is because they've added enough detail or drawn in enough elements for me to try and understand or find out what the story is. And I think that's important. Kind of like this, even though there's no environment, like what is this? Is this like a teddy bear or a stuffed toy, or is it an actual cat? And why is she so good at using her feet? Questions. We have a mecha here, creature thing. Now this one reminds me really of Fred again. I think I mentioned this guy already, friend Rambaud. No, he does like using the darker black sort of inks in his work. Here we have Kobeni. Oh yeah. So she's kind of a clumsy sort of waitress, I guess. This chick is from earlier, but with color. Let me just zoom out. Any more? I think that's it. So let's start from the... Look at that. So yeah, I guess that's it for this art review of Migo1942. I do recommend you watch some of the videos on their YouTube channel. I will link all of the links in the description below, including related or recommended artists. And yeah, if you're trying to work on your... What's the takeaway? What's the lesson for us in this art review? You don't have to render something to the freaking extreme to be able to say something. It's a very common theme in my channel. But also, you don't need line weight as much as that's cool. This guy's proving to you that, or to all of us, that not really. It's not that important because number one, in terms of, yes, there is story, yes, there is design, so that's already good. Even if you don't have like the best sort of rendering style, if your design is good, if your story is good, it's going to carry you. But also you can compensate by adding in some flats and adding in some basic shadows. 2 values are enough, but you can always render it if you want to, and you can just stop here and it will still work, where you have the flats and the shadows with a bit of texture here and there, right? I guess for me, it's more of the shapes that I really like and the lines. It doesn't have to be that tight, and it can work. Or even if it seems kind of not as good or incomplete, the moment you do add colors and shadows, I think it sort of completes that. Like it works together. Like it's not meant to be seen in just this sort of thing or in just this phase. Like it works better with color, shadows, and maybe a bit of rendering, for textures and stuff like that. So I guess style-wise, that's the main takeaway. And also, draw what you like, draw what makes you kind of horny. Because if you're horny, you're horny. Don't fight the urge, Don't fight the freaking draw what you like. I guess that's the point. So that's it for this art review. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.